Hi, this is Sean, one half of Sean and Kira, and welcome to this video. If you haven't seen the other video where I've started penciling this page, go and watch it first. You see I'm continuing working on the pencils for the Doris Sloane page, and as you can see, I like to use a lot of reference for certain parts of the comic. I really wanted to get her look right, and not only her clothing, but her posture. And so I have these books of advertising art from the 1960s, and they're kind of perfect to find picture reference for some of these characters. They have this look from this era, this kind of Mad Men era kind of look, and especially Doris Sloane. She's kind of a relic, and the other character Chick does as well. So I was using an illustration from an ad from the 60s. I found that I like the pose. I was having a hard time trying to find the right pose for this panel, so if that happens, sometimes I go looking for a reference. And a lot of these ads, they're so great, but you have to kind of go digging for the right one. One of the things I had to change was the man in the ad he was sitting in some sort of interesting looking car as the woman was talking to him, and I thought, well, this would be a good pose. I could just substitute Chick as lying on the motel or the hotel bed while Doris is speaking to him, but I found after I made the sketch that he was a little bit too far down, so I had to kind of lift up his character a bit. You can see him adjusting the paper as I lightbox it, bringing him up a little bit higher where he normally would be on a bed. I had to go back and pencil in some details like her wristwatch and bracelets. I'm pretty bad at being consistent about placing jewelry and wristwatches on the right wrists. So a lot of times I catch that later on. I have to go back and redo it. So in the scene, Chick is asking Doris about Jack Sloane, her husband, who's the former boss of the studio that she's now the boss of, and he's kind of investigating some office lore revolving around this cartoonist, this comics writer, Irwin Roth, who recently died. So it's kind of a Citizen Kane sort of thing to the story, where the characters are trying to find out more about this writer, Irwin Roth, and they keep finding more and more mysterious things about his life. And one of the things is that he had a famous falling out with Jack Sloane, who was Doris's husband, and then head of the studio. And then the two of them disappear at about the same time. And then Irwin Roth turns up a year later, wandering out of the Arizona desert, not remembering where he's been in all that time. And Jack Sloane remains missing. So there's this, a lot of rumors around the office that somehow Irwin had killed Jack, or something mysterious had gone on between them. Doris says to Chick that what was most likely is that Jack ran off with one of his floozies. And she says it's just a good thing that he didn't take all the money with him. And then she reveals that it was her money which started the studio and kept it afloat all those years, and Jack would have just spent it all if it was up to him. So she's kind of got a good riddance attitude towards her former husband. Here I'm starting a sketch for the last panel, and as she's talking about the relationship between Jack Sloane and Irwin Roth, I wanted to give like a little shot of, you know, the studio bullpen as it might have looked 20 years before, and showing a younger Jack Sloane and Erwin Roth, maybe in the middle of an argument in the middle of the office with some of the other artists and writers looking on. So sometimes I like to just draw these right out of my mind. I have it in my head how I want it to look, and I just start sketching the characters. There's Jack Sloane. He's kind of modeled after Stanley in a way, but mostly he's modeled after Bob Kane, who is the creator of Batman. And Erwin Roth has a lot of Bob Kane's collaborator, Bill Finger, who famously went uncredited for his role in helping to create Batman. And you know, this character of Jack Sloane is really meant to be a kind of a statement on, you know, what the stories about Bob Kane and his rather shady practices. He's sort of notorious in comic book legend these days. So I'm trying to get him right, but his appearance here is, I find, it was a little bit more like Stan Lee before Stan began adopting the wigs and growing the mustache and the soul patch and all that. Erwin Roth, I think his look was modeled on someone originally. I can't remember his name now. He was a writer for the pulps. Anyway, this about brings us to the end of this video. Next one, we'll probably start inking it. And so I will see you then. Thank you for watching.